So now it's late, so I don't want to waste much time. We proceed for the panel discussion on the most latest and pivotal topic, challenges for publishing industry after artificial intelligence and chat GPT. So the use of artificial intelligence in book editing and publishing raises concerns over copyright protection. Artificial intelligence technology could be used to steal ideas or even entire manuscripts, making it difficult for authors to protect their intellectual property. This could have a negative impact on the publishing industry and authors. Okay, we are progressing forward in the technology, but still, we have to get affected by it. So to have a thorough discussion, our panelists are here. Dr. Moutchi Mukherjee, Professor Nirmal Kanti Bhattacharya, and Shri Manu Das. So we have already introduced Professor Bhattacharya, and Manu Das is a well-known person in this affair. So let me introduce Dr. Moutchi Mukherjee. Dr. Moutchi Mukherjee is commissioning editor. Now she's just coming to the dais. So let me introduce her. She is a commissioning editor, Penguin Classics and Translations, in a career spanning a decade in publishing. Moutchi has worked on fiction and non-fiction books across publishing houses like Oxford University Press, Orient Black Swan, and of course, Penguin Random House. She has a PhD in sociology from Tata Institute of Social Science, Mumbai. We welcome all the panelists and let them carry forward with the topic, the most pivotal.
Thank you, Rashmi. Actually, I'm an odd man out.
So I request Manu Das to curate the discussion. Sorry to mention that.
No, it's okay. Even if you do not mention, I will start. Nothing they are wrong. The only thing is that I am neither artificial nor I have any intelligence. The only problem is that I am non-artificial, and being non-artificial, it is not wise to take the discussion in artificial intelligence. But yes, yesterday we are talking with Nirmalda. Nirmalda also told that he is not having much idea about artificial intelligence. In fact, why did we talk? Many people are talking about artificial intelligence. It is an innovation of the science or technology in the country or in the world. Development in technology keeps on changing over the periods every time. Today it is a chat GPT and tomorrow something will come. Yesterday there was no computer, day before yesterday there was so science is going to develop always, keep on developing. How the society to cope? We heard a very interesting short story in Odia called Magunira Sagada, the bullock cart of Maguni, in which Maguni was transporting the materials through the bullock cart. Later on, when technology developed and a motor carriers started coming in the country, he lost his profession, and that is the ooze and agonies of the after effect of technology. Many people, those who are present here, might have seen, they might have gone in the rickshaw frequently in their younger age. Today you will not hardly find any rickshaw puller. Even if today auto rickshaw is also going to perish. So that is the go of the world. And when this technology came, now every walks of the life is facing, is being influenced, and so is the also publishing house. Here with us, Moutchi is a younger publishing professional from Penguin. And another doyen publishing from a doyen from the publishing world is Nirmala Kanti Bhattacharya. We would like to know what is the really going to affect the publishing industry after this coming of this chat GPT. Now let me ask this question to Mautushi and request her to carry forward the discussion.
Hello. So I just wanted to tell you a little about what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is an open AI software that was launched in 2022. The objective being that it would alter the way people interact with text. So the text remains, but the way we interact with it changes because of ChatGPT. Since its launch in 2022, ChatGPT has become one of the highest and most popular softwares that consumers have bought or used, and it has millions of users since it was launched, which means obviously there is great interest in this kind of software. OpenAI has existed for a while, but the way that writers have interacted with artificial intelligence has changed a lot because of ChatGPT. But this is not a session on what ChatGPT is, it's a session on what it means for us as publishers and writers and poets. I think in general, publishing is one of the oldest, printing press is one of the oldest technologies the world has ever known. It's some 700 odd years old. It was invented in the 15th century. It's also one of the oldest technologies that has sustained over so many years. And that means something. It means that despite all the new technologies that have come over the course of so many centuries, many have perished, the printing press remains. When we look at artificial intelligence or any new software, the approach of publishing towards new software, new technology has always been to co-opt the new and adapt to it. And that is why it has sustained. So things like ChatGPT, which has changed the way we interact with text, is also something we look on encouragingly, and we want to see how we can co-opt this technology and adapt to it and help improve the way we interact with text. So what does generative AI do? It basically gives you cues. It gives you new ideas. There is an existing text, and you use generative AI, give it some cues, and the AI then comes back to you and tells you how you can improve that text. What are the ways in which you can enhance that text? You can add ideas, speech, videos, images, different ways to enhance that text. So that is how AI can change the way you work with text as authors and us as editors. We use it to enhance the existing text.
Thank you, Matushi. You well explained what is the AI. In fact, few days before, I asked my technology-savvy sons that please train me what is the ChatGPT. Of course, they told many things which I could not remember. Only one thing they showed me, that I had written one letter to various authors, and they made through the ChatGPT, that software, around 10 letters. I read 2-3, liked it, but I had no time to. But ultimately, my son told one thing, that this artificial intelligence is a mockery of human intelligence. Why did you say like this? He told that it cannot take over the intelligence of a human being. So I do not know. Now I should ask Nirmala to throw some light. Can the technology overpower the intelligence of a human being?
Thank you. I can throw some darkness rather than light, because I'll also have to begin with a disclaimer that, as a matter of fact, I'm a very old-fashioned, conservative professional in the field of editing and partly publishing. So I'm not very much, open to or very much influenced by technology. But then one has to admit that technology cannot be wished away. It is there. It is there to survive, and you have to compromise with it. As Motoshi said, that you have to, use it. But while using it, you have to optimize it, so that ultimately, it's a truism to say that science is a, good servant as a bad master. So ultimately, we cannot allow technology to overpower yourself in any field. Today, artificial intelligence is a buzzword, and we have been reading in the newspapers how one of the chief of the main AI company was, was dismissed and reinstated within 24 hours. So that OpenAI frame, Now, this is creating a lot of news. Even in our newspapers who have an extreme predilection for politicians, but even in all the leading newspapers, I found this news actually occupied a lot of space for 2, 3, 4 days. What drama was unfolding in the field of artificial intelligence and that open frame company. So I would think that this is a matter which demands our attention, and it is in no way going to replace human intelligence. It's only to see it develops some very complex algorithms through which it can, not only sometimes even superhuman intelligence. It can work sometimes even with superhuman intelligence and solve certain problems, certain things. For example, if you can write better summaries with the use of artificial intelligence, you can gauge readers' preferences through artificial intelligence, which data for which may not be available at your fingertips in the old-fashioned manner, but it is at the disposal of the artificial intelligence immediately. So definitely in the publishing industry also, AI will have an impact, it's already having an impact. So far as ChatGPT is concerned, in ChatGPT, I tried to use ChatGPT once, I was writing a book for the children, and the title of the book was Why is 1st January celebrated as the New Year? So it was an illustrated book. It has been published recently, and I was, trying to chart the course from the Babylonian civilization to Egypt to Rome, and then Pope Gregory, and how ultimately this 1st January was adopted as the New Year. So while doing so, I was searching in Google certain informations. A cousin who was visiting with me, like your son, an expert in these things, in computers and technologies, he told me that why are you wasting your time in Google's? Let me find out from ChatGPT. And he asked me certain cues. It seems if you can give right cues, right words to ChatGPT, then they perform better. So this fellow gave some cues. He asked me, what is this about? Okay, astronomy. Then this. He used a few, terms. And lo and behold, within 5 minutes, I get a full essay on ChatGPT, on this New Year's thing, history of the New Year celebration in the world. Now, I was in a dilemma, a writer's dilemma, If I use this essay, then will it be plagiarism? I was not sure whether I can use it avoiding the charges of plagiarism, or whether I stick to my earlier mode of writing. But then the fact remains that the ChatGPT is capable and it could provide me with immediate responses, immediate answers to certain historical, even proto-historical facts which I was not aware of. But before I hand it over to you, I would like to refer to what Reshmi ji said at the beginning. I think one major ethical question could be what she mentioned, that is a question of, the intellectual property right of the writers, whether in the era of artificial intelligence, protection of the intellectual property right, protection of the copyright can be, I think it's an issue. I cannot declare with all certainty that it is at stake. Maybe human intelligence, as you said, maybe human intelligence find a way out to skirt it. But it is an issue. That much I can say. Thank you.
After listening Mahatushi and Nirmalda, my next question, though we are going to wind up very soon because we are running behind the schedule for 1 hour. I will, being one of the organizers, I have to see that all the other sessions run in time. So, what are the challenges as a commissioning editor Mahatushi is going to face over these years after this ChatGPT?
Well, the question of ethics is there. Obviously, that Nirmalda also spoke about. As a commissioning editor, I'm responsible for ensuring data security, data privacy, fairness of use, the author's interests, all of these, and the ethics involved in how this data has come to me. This is an ongoing conversation. It's too soon for us to really gauge the extent of what are the challenges we are going to face. These are some of the things that we anticipate may be problems, how we are going to deal with data privacy and ethics involved in, the issues related to plagiarism. As editors, we are still discussing it. And when we get data that has come from ChatGPT or from OpenAI, that's when, it's still an ongoing conversation for us also. But I don't think that the general approach towards it, at least, at Penguin we discuss it, I don't think we look upon it with anxiety. I think we're more excited about how we are going to deal with it as a group of editors and writers, how we are going to work towards resolving these challenges book by book, content by content. So in general, we are not really sure of the challenges. We are still talking to each other about it. But I think we can overcome all of these challenges because ultimately we are going to want to create great content. So in whatever way possible, we would like to ensure that the content is great and all ethical practices have been followed to generate that content.
Now what I feel that we have many youngsters from various universities and colleges have come. Because they are the people, those who know better about ChatGPT. I would like to ask them any questions, if they have any in mind, which will be interactive, more interactive. Please.
So I don't know if you were aware of the strike that was going on in Hollywood, right, where all the writers and actors were on strike for 6 months. And one of the key point of contention with the Hollywood studios was that not to use AI to write the stories and stuff actually, because there are studios like Netflix that can literally do away with writers and they can create novel script and content without need for writers. So I think the risk of ChatGPT and AI is actually more existential than just supplementing what you do. I think that's the current use case, but there is actually a deeper risk of a publisher like Penguin saying, okay, you know what, let me load all the books I've ever published into ChatGPT and give them certain prompts to craft a novel out of that basically, right? Where it pulls from all your past publications without the need of an author basically. So how, do you see a world where the writers and publishers then come to a head and they have to figure out a way to protect each other's interests? because that's what like AI is posing, like where literal professions can like vanish basically, which may not be obvious now, but it's coming actually. So anyway, that's kind of my doomsday scenario question for you guys.
There's never going to be a time when we are going to pool in all our books into some kind of software and create new content out of it. We love our existing books too much. That's never going to happen. That doomsday is not going to happen with us. But as far as the question of, for instance, the Hollywood writers' strike, where they are trying to take care of the interests of the author, as publishers, we are always, our interests align with the interests of our authors. Just like they don't want their content out there free for use and distortion, we also don't want our books out there free for use, open to distortion. So our interests are aligned with our authors as far as ethics and ethical use of content is concerned. So there's never going to be a time when we are just going to put in our entire backlist into some software.
To add to it, life goes on, things go on. When photography was, invented, it was thought that painting is over. Painting is going to be dead. Because photography produces a landscape much better, much realistically than a painting could. But painting did not die. Painting found out new courses. It moved from realism to surrealism, it moved from realism to cubism and other areas. When cinema started happening, then it was often contended that the theatre is going to die. Days of theatre are over. But did it die really? Theatre is still alive and kicking. Theatre charted out newer courses. So I would think, as Motushi also said, that we love our authors too much, we love our books too much. And I would think that just as internet could not destroy book and reading habit, similarly, neither ChatGPT nor artificial intelligence could in any way be a stumbling block to publishing and to reading. And just remember a very ironical fact, I'm just giving you a fact. When it was being debated some 30 years back that internet is a contender to books and books may die of internet, what happened? We saw that the largest merchandise which was being sold in internet was books. So this is the irony of it. The same internet which was supposed to have struck the death knell of books, the same internet ended up earning largest revenue through selling of books. So this is how it goes on.
Thank you. Any question from backside? Students?
I just wanted to add a perspective because for the company that I'm working in, I'm responsible for governing AI for a very large workforce. And I'm also a student of neuroscience, training to be a neuroscientist. So there was recently a very distinguished article in the Nature journal, which is a very important science journal, which clearly expresses that human creativity is very different from machine creativity and AI creativity. And there are two aspects of human creativity which AI may not be able to catch up in the foreseeable future. And that's because a lot of our creativity comes from embodied emotion, emotion that comes from a human body as organisms that try to survive in the environment. And the second is that the way in which we process emotions is not something which can be replicated through an algorithmic way, as Nirmalda mentioned. And this particular article, which is a very influential one, says that perhaps human creativity, the really high quality creativity, is not something we should feel threatened AI could take over. However, in the same vein, the article says mediocre human creativity could be replicated. So everything other than the most outstanding high quality works of literature, art and music, perhaps one day could be taken over by AI. So I just wanted to leave that particular thought.
Well, I have nothing to comment on this. I can only wonder Is will Mohapatra like to say?
No, I mean, I agree with you. Salman Rushdie is writing a book post his traumatic experience. Can you imagine if he used AI to write that book about his experience? I cannot imagine it. It has to come from him because it is such. I mean, there is no way in which AI can ever replace the human experience. So, absolutely, yeah.
Before winding up this session, I just want to tell one story really. Mahesh Dattani, who is today here, is our chief guest. Almost 10 years back, when I was thinking to not to follow Facebook, he declared in Jaipur Literature Festival in one session that many people are thinking that it is a wastage of time and energy following the Facebook. But he told that if you can use it properly, you will have a wonderful benefit out of it. Many authors around the globe, if after all I have reached them, it is in a way of reaching through the Facebook also. So what I want to tell that there is always a threat and another is an opportunity in any technological development. It is up to you how you are going to use it or misuse it. With this, I thank the panelists for a wonderful discussion, Mohapatra and Nirmalda for being here with us in spite of so many hurdles. Thank you very much.
Prior to that, as usual, let's have a mention of our sponsors and well-wishers for organizing 8th Odisha Art and Literature Festival 2023. We express gratitude for support and presenting sponsor J.M. Baxi, NMDC, powered by Evers Buildcon, Indian Oil and Associate sponsors Life Insurance Corporation of India, Jindal Steel and Power, and Steel Authority of India Limited.